have this spring makeup tutorial for you guys. I am super excited for spring. I've always been a very like fall person. I love fall and winter. I'm just kind of over it this year. Like I'm just kind of over it. I don't know. So I'm really excited for spring, and this is one of my absolute favorite looks that I have ever done. I actually have been wearing this for like a while, and every single time I wear it I always get so many comments and questions about what I'm wearing, and so I thought I would finally go ahead and just kind of show this one to you guys because it is absolutely beautiful. It is one of my favorite looks ever. And yeah, so I really hope that you guys like this look in this video. By the way, I did color my hair. It is just a little bit more blonde than it has been in the past, but yeah, I wanted to go do a little bit of something lighter for summer, but if you guys don't follow me on Instagram you guys wouldn't know. But yeah, I hope you guys like this spring look, and if you guys want to see how I got this, then please just keep on watching. Okay, so to start I'm just going to use the Maybelline Master Prime. This is the Blur and Redness Control. And I'm just going to start by putting that in like my T-zone area because that's like kind of where I get the most red. This stuff really works for like if you guys have like lines or anything like that, like in your forehead or in your face anywhere. I have like number 11s coming through, and this seriously helps to like combat like any settling into those lines. It really works. For foundation, I'm going to use two different ones. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Advanced Never Fail makeup that I love so much, and then the Makeup Forever HD. I'm just going to mix these two together. The Makeup Forever HD, I am in the color Y235, and then in the L'Oreal I'm in the color Classic Ivory. I'm just going to put a couple of dots along like my face. I'm just going to take my sponge, this is the Real Techniques one, and I'm just going to blend this out. I am in serious need of a new sponge. It's insane, to be honest. For concealer, I'm just going to use the Maybelline Master Conceal. I'm just putting that under my eyes in like a triangle shape. Down the bridge of my nose. A little bit on my forehead, chin, Cupid's bow, and I'm also just going to blend that out with the Beauty Blender. So to set my powder, I'm just going to be using the NYX Highlight and Contour Kit. I'm just going to use these two colors mixed together to just set kind of like in the center of my face. So I just kind of go like right here, right underneath my eye, and like on the sides of my nose, because I actually get like kind of oily there towards the end of the day, so I just want to like really set that to make sure that I don't get any oils. And then I'll go right here, just like in the center of my forehead, and then down my nose, and then just like a little bit on my chin area. You also need to set your eyelids so that like none of your shadows will crease over whatever foundation or concealer product that you have on your eye already. So now I'm going to move on to bronzer. Now this is the same palette that I just used, except it's like an older one because I ran out of the highlighting shades, okay? So I have to use this older palette to use my bronzer shades just because I have so many or so much of these left. I'm not going to use the ones out of the new one. But But to bronze, I am going to be mixing these two shades. Since this is like a spring look, I really want like kind of a really bronzed face. But what I'm going to do is just start by bronzing the sides of my temples and kind of gradually blending it up to my forehead, just like right along the hairline. Make sure you've been blended into your hair, you guys, so that there's no like distinctive line of like where there's like a white spot, because you have like your actual skin and then the bronzer that's not blended. So blend it into your hair, please. And you guys can already see like how bronzed the side looks. On camera it's looking like a little muddy. Then I'm just going to do the same thing to this side. Leave the center of your forehead open and free of bronzer. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of bronze up like my cheeks, kind of like where I'm contouring, but this is more of like a broader bronze. Does that make sense? So it's not so like harsh where a contour would actually go. It's just more like soft. So just really make sure that your bronzer is blended. We don't want any harsh lines whatsoever. Then what I'm going to do, just kind of even it all out, because now that like my face looks kind of even, I'm going to also blend this down my neck. Okay, now that I'm bronzed, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my eyebrows. So I'm just going to use the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in Soft Brown. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to leave this part in or not, because I don't actually feel like I need to show you guys how to do my eyebrows, because this isn't like every single video ever made that's a tutorial. So I may or may not leave this in, but I'm just going to do my eyebrows like I usually would using the Anastasia Dipbrow. Okay, so now that I'm done with my eyebrows, I'm just going to start on the eyes, and I'm gonna obviously use my Painterly Paint Pot because I love this thing. I'm just going to put that all over my eyelids, and I'm just going to set that really quickly with just the same powder that I used to set underneath my eyes and the rest of my face, just because I want to make sure that nothing is going to get like stuck in any one place. Sometimes like because your shadow is like, or your base is sticky, sometimes like shadows will tend to stick in certain places more than others. So I just went ahead and set that really quickly just so that everything goes on super smooth. So the first shade I'm going to start with is Purely Naked from Makeup Geek, and this is a very light like peach shade. I am just going to start this like in the crease and just really just start to blend this out. I want this to be a transition shade, and I want this look to be pretty soft and not necessarily smoky, but almost smoky looking. I just want it to be really soft and have like no harsh lines. So I'm just basically just taking that into the crease and just kind of like going in circular motions to blend that out. The next shadow that I'm going to be using is Swiss Chocolate from MAC. It's just a very red brown, and I'm just going to get a little bit of that on my brush, and I'm just going to put this lower than the one I just put, like more directly into the crease. And I'm just basically putting this on the outer corner. I'm not bringing it in as far as I brought in the first shade. I'm kind of stopping about right here. The first shade I went ahead and brought it all the way in. With this one though, I'm not bringing it that far in. I have no product on the brush. I'm just going to blend that all out again. Okay, so this is like super light and soft right now, which is what I want, but I am going to darken it up just a little bit, but I want to go ahead and get my lid color on to just kind of like feel how dark I want to get it. I'm also going way back, and I'm going to use a NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Milk, and I'm just going to put this all over my eyelid. This is going to help the shadow that I'm about to use pop. Just going to blend that out with my finger. So now that we have the NYX eyeshadow pencil all blended out, the shadow that I'm going to be using is one of my favorites, you guys. This shadow is so beautiful. This is L'Oreal Infallible's Amber Rush, and look at that. It is such a beautiful color. It's like a pressed pigment. Look, oh my gosh, this color is so pretty. I am going to take this on my ring finger, you guys. Like, what is going on? This thing is gorgeous. And I'm just going to pat this on that base. I'm using my finger because I don't want to necessarily wet the shadow. That would make it insanely pigmented, which is awesome, but I'm just going to use my finger and rely on that white base to get the shadow super pigmented, because if I were to use a brush it wouldn't be as pigmented. Guys, look at that shadow, it's so pretty. Okay, so now that I have Amber Rush on, I am going to darken the crease color up a little bit. So I am going to take a little bit more of the Swiss Chocolate. This time I'm also going to take it on a little bit of like a smaller brush. I know my brushes are horribly dirty. I need to wash them. But this is just a 217, just so that I can get a little bit more of like a concentrated color. So it's just a little bit more pigmented. And I'm just basically just going to put this in the crease exactly where I put it before. Just kind of darken it up a little bit though. You definitely don't want to bring this up too high. I am going to blend this back out again with the first color that we used. I just want this though to just darken the look just a little bit. Then just to give it just the tiniest bit more depth, and I'm talking tiny, I'm going to take Makeup Geek's Corrupt. Now, if you guys are using this one, please be careful. It is so pigmented. You do not want to turn yourself into a raccoon. I am dipping my brush once. Like, that's enough. That's literally, that's it. No more. I'm even going to tap it off. And I'm just going to darken up that outer corner just the tiniest bit. And I don't want this to get too dark or cool toned. So that's literally, that's all I'm doing. It's just the slightest bit darker, so it has just a little bit more dimension than this eye. Can you guys see? There's the eye without the black, there's the eye with the black. It just gives it like the slightest bit more dimension. I'm going to hold the brush at the very end. This is going to give me like a very light hand. If you were to hold the brush up here, you'd be very heavy-handed and it would come off really harsh. So I'm kind of like holding it at the very end and just slightly going back and forth. I am seriously barely touching my skin. That first brush that I used, and just kind of blend the edges out, soften that up a little bit right here where it's like kind of, it's not as soft as I would like it to be. So I'm just going to kind of really blend that out. I did pick up just a little bit more of that first shadow, but that just blended that out just a little bit, so it's not just like so harsh like this side. Okay, so for a highlight, I'm just going to take MAC's Shroom. I love the shadow. I'm just going to just highlight like right underneath that brow bone. And then just to make sure there's like seriously no harsh lines, I'm going to blend just a little bit with just a fluffy blending brush, just softening up all the edges so that there's no harsh lines. I'm going to curl my eyelashes. I'm going to put on a little bit of mascara. The mascara I'm using is just Urban Decay's Perversion. And I'm just putting like a really thin coat of this because I am going to be putting on false lashes. So for falsies, I am going to put on these lashes right here. These are actually Ardell's Demi Wispies and Ardell's Wispies stacked together. They already are stacked together. I've been wearing this combination for like a couple of weeks now and I'm in love. It looks so beautiful. So I'm just going to put those on and I'll be right back. So now that my lashes have been applied and I'm waiting for them to dry, I'm now going to work on the lower lash line. So I'm going to put a little bit of Purely Naked, which is that first color that we used. basically just kind of like smoke this out on the lower lash line. This does not need to be perfect at all. I'm just really smoking it out. And then just to give my lower lash line just like the tiniest bit more definition, I'm going to take Swiss Chocolate from MAC on like a really tiny like little smudger brush like this one, and I'm just going to, from the outer corner, really just keep this close to the lash line, really kind of like on the lash line, and just blend that right on, like right onto the lashes, and that's just going to give us just a little bit more definition without making this like too dark or dramatic. The next step, just to kind of really brighten this up and make sure that we keep this really light and spring light and kind of fresh looking, I'm going to take a white eyeliner. This one's just from Younique, and this is called Prestine, and it's just a white eyeliner, and I'm just going to put that in my waterline. And that's just going to kind of open up the eyes just a little bit, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of mascara on my lower lashes. Okay, so I just put mascara on my lower lashes, and the very, very last step to this is I'm going to brighten up our inner corner by putting a highlight. I'm going to be using this color from Milani. Mine is all messed up. The lid is broken. I don't even know where it is, but this is called Lily White, and I'm just going to take that on a very little brush like this one. Just put this in my inner corner. Okay, so I didn't really explain this while I was doing it. The color that I was using on my inner corner I didn't think was like bright enough. So I did take a little bit of the same white eyeliner and I kind of put that on the inner corner, and then I put the same eyeshadow on top just to really make that pop, because I'm really into like the really, really bright inner corner, especially for spring and summer. It just really opens up your eyes and makes it beautiful. So now that our eyes are done, I'm just going to move on to the face. I want a seriously bronzed, chiseled, contoured face for this. I don't know why, I just like it with this look. I think it looks really pretty. So I'm going to use this shade in my NYX contour kit. I'll flip it around this way so you guys don't get confused, but it's that one right there with just a Sonia Kashuk. What are these brushes called again? I can't remember. I'm just going to kind of just like make a line going down, and I'm kind of stopping like right where the tail end of my brow is. I don't want to bring this like too far in, because then you'll just look like a little weird. And with this Real Techniques brush, I'm just going to blend that out. And with this brush is when I'll kind of like bring it down a little bit farther. This looks insane on the camera. It looks so crazy. It's not that bad, I promise. What I'm going to do, because this looks insane on camera even though it doesn't really look like that in person, I'm going to take the same brush that I used. Holy cow, that's so loud. I'm going to take the same brush that I used to do my powder, and I'm just kind of like really blending that out so it doesn't look totally insane. I didn't add any powder on it. I just kind of like I'm using whatever's left over. Then with just like a really small angled brush, I'm just going to contour very lightly down my nose. Once again, you guys can see I'm holding it at the very end of the brush, so like nothing's super duper harsh. Then you just want to blend up. Really want to make sure that this contour is like super defined, so I'm just going to take the Airspun loose powder, picking up quite a bit of that on the same Sonia Kashuk flat brush, and I'm just going to just do a little bit of baking, which basically just means you go under where your contour is and just like let that sit or bake whatever you want to say, so that when you wipe it away, it's going to look freaking amazing and chiseled. It's going to look great. Just letting that sit while I finish the rest of my face. And the blush that I'm going to use, I don't think they make this blush anymore, but this is the Kid In Vogue Perfect Blush in South Beach. It's just a very like bronzed blush, and that's what I'm going to use today. Just basically just putting this blush on my cheeks. Love this. It's so pretty. Everything's looking so like harsh in camera. I don't understand why. Before I go any further, I'm just going to put on my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. This is in the color medium to dark. I probably could go a shade lighter, but you know, I'm using what I got. So I'm just gonna brush this through my brows. This stuff's amazing. I love it. For my lips, I'm going to go in with the NYX lip liner in Pinky, and I love this. This lip, I feel like, is really what makes this like very spring, because it's so bright, and I love this bright pink in the spring. It's like one of my favorite lip colors ever. The lipstick I'm going to use is this one by Sleek, and it's in the color Amped. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful that is. Love this lipstick. It's so beautiful. It's a little drying, but it's really pretty. So, whatever. Finally going to highlight. I'm going to use Becca's Opal. Just going to take this. Oh, look at that. Right on that cheekbone. Super highlighted, glowy, whatever you want to say, for the spring. Love it. Also just going to take just a little bit right there. I'm also going to try out a little bit of the Carly Bible. And then last but not least, I'm going to blend out that baking that's already kind of faded, but okay, so that is it. That is my finished spring makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys like this look. It's one of my favorites, honestly. It's so pretty. And this eyeshadow by L'Oreal is such a beautiful color. Like, I recommend everybody get it because it's so pretty, but especially right now while spring is coming and summer's coming, get it and wear it because it's so beautiful. But if you guys liked this video and if you guys want to see more spring tutorials and spring makeup looks, then please just let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I am definitely going to be coming out with more spring and summer looks. But yeah, I hope that you guys liked this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!